Big thanks to Michelle for this video suggestion. So thank you, Michelle. Whether you're working remotely by choice or due to lockdowns, there are tons of nuances that go along with remote work. So let's jump right into these tips for working remotely. The first is to cover your camera. Have you ever had your heart drop when you were completely unprepared and realized your camera was on in a meeting? I'm talking not dressed, hair looking crazy, half your makeup done, or you just rolled out of bed and remembered you had a meeting 2 minutes before the meeting. Fear not, it's happened to the best of us, and experience is the greatest teacher. So what I've learned is you can cover your camera with a Post-it, piece of paper, or if you have and want to spend the money, a fancy camera cover. Quick disclaimer with the camera cover though, it can mess up your laptop depending on the type of cover that it is and how your laptop closes. So it might not be worth the risk of messing up your laptop in order to save some face, literally. If you're a desktop user, this might be completely irrelevant to you. But what you can do is cover it all the time. That way, no matter what's going on, even if you were to accidentally hit the camera on button or just join the meeting with your camera on automatically, because that's a thing too, it's easier to save yourself the embarrassment up front. And it's much less embarrassing to turn your camera on if a teammate or a coworker notes that they can't see you, or you realize you can't see yourself in the meeting, than it is to hide yourself after you may have already been seen at, quote, your worst, unquote. So that is my first little tip. It's easier to keep it covered all the time than to have to deal with potentially hitting a button or having it automatically show you and have to deal with that embarrassment if you're looking crazy or if you have one eye open and are just barely hanging on to the meeting. Tip number 2 is to prepare your background. So if you're like me, you may have limited space in your home to work and have to spend some time working from your bedroom. Because my bedroom was never set up to be a full-time office, you can probably see why this would be an issue. Like many of you, your bedrooms probably were not set up to be full-time offices either. But I always tried to tidy up when I knew I had a meeting. You'll see my laundry. You'll see my laundry hamper around. Sometimes it's full. A lot of times it's full. But I personally think those Zoom and other digital backgrounds are really cheesy or corny, especially since I'm such an expressive speaker. I talk with my hands a lot. It causes the background to kind of lag or to distort a lot, and I think it's really distracting. The perk of just kind of tidying up your background is it gives you a little bit of clarity first thing in the morning. You feel like you're starting your day off on the right foot, but also it may have the side effect of making you a little bit more productive. If you're like me, I do sometimes have organized chaos hanging around, but I do feel that I think and work a lot more clearly when I have an organized and tidy space. And being proactive in doing that is probably the best way to get the space clean enough to really be able to focus. Alternatively, if you would rather not go through all of that and tidying up, or if you just don't have the time to do that and want to keep your private spaces private, you can invest in a screen. Using a screen is ridiculously helpful when you're short on time, or if you're in a creative field and you have a specific aesthetic that you're trying to achieve. I'm not gonna lie, The screen that I bought was pricey, a little over $100 at the time. But the benefits and the multi-uses I've gotten out of it in creating my content, specifically for me creating content, if you create content, it may be helpful to you. If you don't, you might not see the value in it. But it was worth it to me. It's easy to set up and it provides instant tidiness. If you're interested in some of the other reasons I like my screen, check out the video here or here. Matter of fact, check the information cards. My third tip is to set yourself up for success, or set yourself up for focus in my case. So if you're anything like me and your brain looks like this, you may be an overthinker, you may just have a very limited attention span, and you need to really work hard to focus on one thing at a time, or to kind of block out the noise in your mind. What helps me with that is establishing a routine. I have a morning routine. I clear off my desk, which I try to get to the night before. It doesn't really happen all the time, but I try and do it the night before. Anyway, in the morning, I just re-clear off any new things that have appeared overnight, and I make myself some tea. I sometimes have breakfast, and then I start my playlist of songs or podcasts and get to work. Honestly, it's really easy for me to get off track because I have a tendency to overthink things and just kind of be all over the place. Again, this is my mind. So the fewer things I have in my view, the better I am at focusing. Keeping my eye line clear of clutter and having a great playlist just helps keep me focused and leaves less room for distractions, especially if you're into lo-fi like I am, or instrumentals, because it kind of gives you a little bit less to focus on once you get into the words or the lyrics. So it's a great way to really start your day off focused, especially when you start to establish a routine. I'm not going to lie to you, establishing the routine is probably the hardest part, but once you get into a groove, it just gets to be so easy and simple to do. My fourth tip may be the least liked, but it is to occasionally message your teammates, and that can be your coworkers and or boss. Let them know you're alive, maybe have a quick check-in. This is important if your work and others' work are codependent. It's also crucial if you're looking for a promotion, a raise, any recognition for your work. It's easy to forget about you if you don't speak to anyone. That's pretty much anytime, anywhere. It's, what is the phrase? Top of sight, top of mind? Is that the phrase? I don't know. I'll put the phrase here that I'm trying to think of. It's also crucial if you're looking for a promotion, a raise, or just some recognition for your work, because let's be real, sometimes we don't get recognized for our work. It's a great way to show you're collaborative and communicative and that you're a team player, even if in the back of your mind that's not what you're thinking. That's not how you really feel. Sometimes you just have to swallow your pride and do what you gotta do. Make your money, honey. Let's be real. You may not like everyone you work with. You may not even want to speak to them since you're not in the office. You think that's great. But think of it as if you're still in the office. You wouldn't see them and not say good morning or have a good evening or anything, right? This is semi-similar. It's internet etiquette. Don't you dare coin that. Don't get annoying though. Don't be messaging your teammates all the time. Just a quick, hey, how's it going? Or here's what I'm working on. Or just a timeline of when you'll get something done. If someone is dependent on your work, that should more than suffice. Just keep it concise. especially if it's somebody you don't really want to shoot the with or shoot the breeze with. Just keep it cool, keep it cute, keep it concise. Dash it. And my fifth and final tip for this video is to take breaks, especially your lunchtime. Just like in the office, you wouldn't sit the entire day and not leave your workstation. Don't sit at your desk or wherever you're sitting all day. Take coffee or tea breaks by getting up every so often and getting something to eat or drink. Go for a walk around your block or your neighborhood. Go out and get lunch or have your homemade lunch outside. The weather's getting nice in New York, so if it's also getting nice by you, put your lunchtime on your calendar and have some lunch outside. Get some fresh air, have lunch, and don't be distracted by work, or don't let anything going on at work distract you from having some personal time in the day. It helps you to not go crazy. The moral of the story is don't be locked to your desk. You're not chained there, and it's not healthy. Take care of yourself and your mental health first, because at the end of the day, your job will still be a job. There's something that I've seen online and I've heard from previous coworkers and colleagues, and it's that and this is the harshest way I've heard it spoken or written, and the moral of all of the stories that I've heard from other people, coworkers, colleagues, friends, family. If you died today, your job will, within at least 2 or 3 months, have that position open. If you're an extremely good and efficient worker, let's say you've been working on 10 things, sometimes they'll have multiple positions open for your one role. In this case, the point of this is that you own your career, you own your life. So don't feel overly loyal to a company or to an industry or to anything really without considering your career trajectory and what you want for your life. So remember that, and I hope that these tips have helped, and I'm working on 2 different angles this time. Let me know how you like this. It kind of helps me a little bit with editing and all of the jump cuts if I have to make a lot of edits. So yeah, thank you again for watching. If you are not subscribed and you're interested in this content, or you've liked the videos you've watched so far, if you've been watching multiple videos and haven't subscribed yet, please do. If you've noticed I haven't been on, as in uploading videos recently, it could be because I've been busy. It's tax season. I'm a tax accountant, if you didn't know that. But sometimes I get a little busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. But thank you again for watching. I'd love to hear what you think of this video. If you liked it, please go ahead and like it. Give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, go ahead and give it a thumbs down. That's fine too. But at least leave me a comment and let me know what's going on. Why you liked it, why you didn't like it. We can definitely have a discussion, as long as it's respectful. As long as it's respectful, down in the comments. So leave me a comment and let's chat. In the meantime, I'll see you down in the comments. So leave me one. Peace.